back, everyone, to Open Line. We are talking about the property tax increase. As you hear our new music here on Open Line, we're debuting our new music tonight and our new graphics. I'm just excited. I'm telling you all about that. All right, so should Nashville be able to raise taxes without voter approval? We're talking with Jim Roberts via Zoom. He's an attorney, and he is proposing the Nashville Taxpayer Protection Act. This is different than the No Tax for Nash thing that we talked about last week that was looking to recall people. This is something different that we were talking about in the whole first segment of the show. Let us now go to some of the calls that we have. Let's go to Leonardo. Hello, Leonardo.
How you doing tonight, guy? Real fast, I'm just going over a couple of notes. I do have a controlling area where national basketball is concerned, and I would love for my team to play here in Davidson County in my lifetime. Aside, I'm just taking notation about the wheel tax and it being visible, and then also hearing that he says there is additional choices that will be on to pass first. How are we, they, them, then to say vote for, I guess we say faulted is the word. I guess faulted would be a word I want to use to the comptroller, and he take over any district in this city. How are we valued there? I think that's the question.
All right,
How are we valued?
Sounds like you might be getting a call, but I like the essence of your question. I'm going to try and boil down your question about the comptroller. And we heard from the council member that this budget was passed in part because the comptroller said we're going to take over the city. He's going to take over the city if we don't do some things to turn the city around. One is get up the rainy day fund, which is now very low. So the question is a more pointed one about the comptroller. Should your referendum pass or this next pass, are you worried about the comptroller coming in and taking over the city, the finances of the city?
Certainly the state has the authority to do that at any time that it doesn't think Nashville's being managed appropriately. Justin Wilson, the state comptroller, came in last fall before the election and said, very clearly to the council, get your ducks in a row. And I believe he looked at Nashville, which was in a much better situation than it is now, and decided to wait for the mayoral election and see what the people of Nashville said. We elected a mayor who at least espoused being fiscally conservative and having some fiscal responsibility and restraint, and I think the comptroller backed off. The problem is the John Cooper we voted for in September of 2019 has changed and doesn't seem to be the same mayor that we had.
Well, we've also had a pandemic that's shut down businesses all across the city, and the revenue that's coming in is dramatically lower.
And we did that in some ways to ourselves. Not every city is shut down to the extent that Nashville has. And the wisdom of that I'll leave to Mayor Cooper, but the effect of it is real. There's a reason that everybody in Nashville has to go to Brentwood to get a haircut. There's a reason that we have to do these things. It's because our mayor has made a decision, rightly or wrongly, to shut down our businesses, to sort of dampen the fires of the engine of this. Okay, he's done that. And the question is, who has to pay the price for that? I don't think the citizens should pay that price as part of an increased property tax. That hurts everybody, but mostly it hurts the poor and the elderly. The idea that only rich people pay property tax is just laughable. That property tax is going to be directly translated to rents of people in this city. And this city is already, people say, is not affordable enough. There's already a push for affordable housing, and it's just about to get a lot less affordable. Why? Well, because the councilwoman who came on before wanted to spend another $100 million. That councilperson was unwilling to cut any spending. That councilwoman was unwilling to vote to furlough any Metro, to pick on Metro employees, but we all suffered. Well, no, excuse me, we didn't all suffer equally. And I think that's wrong. I think we should have all suffered equally. We're all going to have to pay the property tax, then we should have all suffered equally on the front end. That's not how, but that doesn't make it okay. It's just not how government works.
All right, let's take another call here. Let's go to Michael. Hello, Michael.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
Hey, thank you. I love your show. Getting on and talking about this stuff. I'm a supporter of the act, as are most of my neighbors. I was actually a big fan of Mayor Cooper up until he jumped on talking about our tax rate being the lowest compared to comparable cities. And what everybody fails to seem to talk about is the reassessment of the property values in 2017. Does that play a part in this tax increase? Is it a lacking transparency that they don't talk about that? That right on the heels of the reassessment of the property values, they hit us with this big tax increase?
Okay. Normally when there is a reassessment, there's an adjustment in the rate. That didn't happen last time. By law, they're not allowed to get more money when they reassess property values. So as a result, some property taxes go up, some go down. But I'll let you answer that question, or Jim Roberts. Go right ahead.
And that's one of the problems we have with our tax system. It's supposed to be revenue neutral. So we do these new appraisals, the rates do go down somewhere. And so what happens is that tax burden sort of moves around the city and it goes to different areas. But we've seen tremendous growth in this city. And so not just in property values, but also in wages and sales tax. And we should become less dependent on property tax. I don't think there's a problem with us having a lower property tax in the cities around us. I think that's a good thing. I don't rate the quality of my city by how high its taxes are. People come to income tax. That's a good thing. We brag about that. We brag about that when businesses come to Tennessee. We're one of the few states that doesn't have an income tax. So this have a higher property tax, I think, is misplaced. What if we had no property tax? What if we used other types of revenue to run this city? We would be more of a destination. I mean, it's all going to have to be a balance, but raising taxes 34% in a down economy is a very unwise thing to do. And I don't, I'm sure if you got all 35 members of the Metro Council to come on your show, I'm pretty sure all of them would tell you it was a bad idea. Yeah, I got it. That's what they're going to say. I'm sure Mayor Cooper's going to say it's a bad idea, but I have a strong feeling about 100,000 Nashvillians is going to say it's a great idea.
Okay, we are going to take another break because we went so long in the first segment. We'll take a break. Lee, others, hold on the line. We'll get to your call. Take a break. Be back right after this.